Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay, and this is video number 6 of our series where we are building movie rating application from scratch using ASP.NET Core MVC, Dapper, Micro ORM, and ChatGPT as our assistant. Right. In this video, we are going to look into login, logout functionality, and show hide menu based on the logged in user role. Right. So let's dive into it. So I have prepared the prompt in the background. Let me bring it on the screen, and this time it is a little lengthy, but I'll read out for you. So what I am saying over here, that keeping project structure, we discussed project structure in the previous video, right? So keeping project structure in mind, let's work on following: login, logout, show add menu based on logged in user, right? And I am reminding him, chat gpt couple of things, right? For example, we need to store user details, id, email, name, role id, and role name in session, which will be used to show add menus and on other places as well, right? Please create dedicated class for session helper. So we need a dedicated class that will have function, majorly two function: get session and set session, right? Let's create interface I account repository. Now we have created the, in the project we created infra folder, and in infra we had interfaces and repository folders. So I'm reminding it that let's keep this I account repository. Let's have login, logout, and register method. Later on we may add change password method over in this interface, right? And at this moment we are not, we won't have anything in the logout method or in interface and repository also, because we are not updating any date time on the logout method, right? So if there is a requirement that on logout user should last login time should be noted, then in that case logout will also interact with database, and it will punch the time, last logged in time, into the database. So currently we don't have that. So logout will not be interacting with database. It will be just simply clearing session values, right? Now since we are using Dapper, I want you to guide me step by step in achieving above. I would request you to going forward, can reply to my prompt in following sequence. Now with whenever we are working with Dapper, so we will be working always first with store procedure. Then based on the store procedure, we will have to create entity and model classes. Then we will work on interface method. Then we'll work on repository method. Repositories where we will be implementing actual database code, right? Then register interface and repository into program.cs. Use repository into controller, right? Whatever controller is there. In this case we will have account controller, right? And then razor view, right? So we will have the razor view, basically our UI using bootstrap. Now since we are performing database operation for the first time in this project, please include step to set up connection string as well, right? So we will have to have connection string on app setting.json file, and then we will have to use it commonly from everywhere, right? So I'm just reminding it. And since we are doing database operation in this project for the first time, I have written this money, this much long, prompt. Going forward it will be, we can sort on it, right? But I want it to respond us in a specific manner, so that it becomes easier for us to copy paste the code, right? And I'm also giving it instruction that this is what our user table look like, right? So let's push this to ChatGPT, and let's see what it comes up with. So let me go to ChatGPT. Let me say Control V over here. Okay, so let me push it, and let's wait for ChatGPT to generate response. Okay, so ChatGPT has generated the response. Let's see. Okay, it gave us the first store procedure. Okay, however, we'll not be using this store procedure. We already created login store procedure in previous video. We'll be using that, right? Here it just gave us the select statement. Actually, The- in the login we are. Let me bring that on screen. Right. In the previous screen, in the previous video, we developed this check login sp, right? Only thing was missing that we are not bringing the role name which I have updated the store procedure now. So we are bringing role name also. So if you see the output, it will give us something like this: ID, name of the user, email, role ID, and role name. And if we pass wrong username and password, then let's say what it will be doing. Then it will say 00 nothing nothing and nine. Right. So we know it is. Uh, so we know what it is returning, right? In case of success and in case of failure, right? Okay. So this is good. Let me, yeah, okay. So this is good. Okay. So we will be using this store procedure, right? Just wanted to remind you over here. So let me bring this back to my other screen and let's move ahead with the ChatGPT response again. So it is saying that we should create a user, okay, ID. Yeah, okay, this is good. We will have login VM, yeah, email required, yeah, absolutely. Password, yeah, okay, this is good. I account repository, this is also good. Task, okay. Login and log out as in, okay, placeholder if needed. Yeah, this will not be needed in our case, so we'll not use this. Okay, so then we have the actual implementation. Okay, this is good. Okay, this is good. Okay, this is how we should register repository. This is somewhere also add session, yeah, okay, we'll have to add at least these two, not the third one, but we'll require these two. Okay, session helper, okay, great. Logged in user is the key name, set user, get user, okay, this is good, this is good. Then account controller, okay, then UI, okay, this is good. Then show height based on menu, so we'll have to retrieve the user from the session, okay, great. And then place the if condition and placing this connection string at in the setup. Okay, so I think ChatGPT has given us the response in the way we want, right? So let's implement it one by one, right? So we have this store procedure, we don't need to do anything, right? So let me create this entity and login VM in the background and come back. Yeah, so let me tell you what I did in the background, right? So let's go to ChatGPT response first. ChatGPT actually created this as an entity. Actually, in the entity, we should have all these column names, right? So that's what I did, right? And this is login VM, which is good. But similar way, we should have login response VM also. So ideally, it has created this as a response model. But what I did, let me show you. So I created user entity which matches our database table, right? All columns. Then login VM. This is as good as the ChatGPT has given us, and this is the user entity of ChatGPT, but actually it is login response VM for ID name, because it is not the actual entity. It is something like view model we will be using, right? So this is what I did. And then in the infra repository, I created this blank account repository interface as of now, or class we can say. Let me see if it was an interface in this. Ideally it should be interface, yeah, okay. So let me change this to interface, right? So this looks good. Now let's take these two method, and actually at this moment we'll have only one method, right? We don't need this logout, right? And also this should be login, yeah, login response VM, and it should inherit from here, right? And since we have, and also it missed one more thing, that since we have already created the login VM, it should have used login VM over here, but it gave us the separate parameters. I don't know why. Then where login VM, where does it is using? Let me see quickly. No. Okay, so on the view model it is taking as over here, and then it is passing it again individually. So this is not good. I would say this is not good. We should always use a class to be input parameter for because later on if there is one more parameter added in this VM, right, so this method needs to be changed with third parameter. So this is not a good idea. So this is something not good given by ChatGPT. We will be passing the VM login only, login VM as a class, entire class only, right? So let me modify this method. So what should we should be doing over here? We will say login VM. Let's say we'll say it user over here, right? So this is good. Now next it is saying that it has implemented repository. Okay, so let me add the class over here. I will say right click, add class. We'll give it a name account repository. Account repository. Account repository. Right, and let's try to copy paste what we have it over here. So let me copy entirely this, and we'll have to change at many places because we changed our entities and VMs, right? So this is good. I account. Okay, let me inherit this from project.infra. Okay, why it is not coming? Let me see. I account. I account repository. Okay, ideally it should be this. Yeah, it is the same. Oh, okay. So here actually, wait a minute. It's I account repository. This is yeah, okay. So this is I account repository. Yeah, so this is good. Nothing wrong over here. Let me see. Yeah, okay, because it might be saying that we have not implemented this correctly, because over here we are using this, so we will have to change this all. Let me do that quickly. So let me tell you what I did, so in the interface we created this account repository interface where we have only one method as of now, login as in the account repository class we implemented that interface, right? And then we are declaring connection string over here, and I corrected the login async method with login response VM and login VM as the input, right? And I did the necessary uh, changes over here also. I change the store procedure name to whatever we have, right? Pass the parameter based on this input, right? And then we are using this, right? Ideally we should use parameters with actually dynamic parameters and with actually its type and length and everything. But let's say if this one works, we'll tackle this later. So up to here we are good. So let me go to ChatGPT. So up to here we are good, and let me quickly add this connection string in the app setting.json file. So I think it has given us at the end. So let's do this first. Let me copy this. Let me go over here. We'll go over here, and let me just copy paste it over here, right? So we have this now. This is good. Let me Yeah, okay, so let me change the connection string. So let me show you what I did. I just replaced this with my server name. Our database would be movie reddb, right? Let me see if that is the one we have. Movie reddb, yeah, okay. Movie movie reddb, okay. Username and password is my username and password, and we are good. Let me remove this comma over here. So connection string is in place. Let me close this. Now let's go to the next step. Let's go to ChatGPT. Right, so this is done. Okay, great. Now, so this is done. Now it is saying us to register this into the program.cs. So let me copy this. We'll go to program.cs and we will add it over here. Right, so this is good. And then I think razor pages is not required. We need these two. So this will be adding it over here, builder. Okay, so this is good. And we'll have to add use session. Okay, that I think we'll have to say after routing or something, or before routing, I guess. Let me add it over here, or let me quickly check where I have added in my previous project. Yeah, it was before routing and authorization only, so we are good over here, right? Use session, and I think there should be add session also. Okay, yeah, so add session and use session, these two should be there to, if we are creating a session in the project. So this is good. Let's move to the next step. So we are done over here. Now let's say it is saying that we should create a folder helpers, and in that we should create this helper.ch class. Okay, so let me do this in the background. Okay, so let me tell you what I did. So I created the helper folder. In the helper folder I created the session helper class, right? And in session helper class, actually it has given us, ChatGPT has given us considering user object. And also this is not supposed to be I session actually, so this was not good. So what I did, from the previous project I took this session helper class and took these three method. Ideally these three method would be required in any session helper: set user, get user, and clear user, right? So that's what I did it over here. You can pause the video and check out this, code. It's very simple, right? So let's move to the next. Now it is saying that account controller. Okay, so let me create the account controller first. So let me show you what I did. I just created the account controller by right clicking over here, add controller, right? Then account controller. In account controller we have one blank index method as of now, and I added the error method also. Ideally it is not required. So let me remove this actually, right? So we have the index method. Now let's move to the next. Now it is saying that, okay, now let me copy this entirely actually, and let's place it over here. Okay, now we will have to have this is via model. Okay, so this is good. So we'll pass this entirely, not individually. So this is good. Session helper. So this is not okay. Set user. So this would be just context. Again, this would be just the context, which is redirecting login. This is good. This is good. Email or password, invalid email or password. Okay, we'll just say invalid credentials only. Credentials. Okay, so this is what we are displaying here. On a successful login, if login is success, then we are adding it to the session. So this is good, and we are redirecting it to index of home controller. So this is good, right? So next, move to next. Now login UI, right? Okay, so actually I missed the I replace the index with login. This has to be login actually, right? So this is good. Now let's add the login view. Right. So let me see what I did. As the next part, we copy pasted the UI, right? So entirely this. For, we'll have to, since we are, the model is our login VM. On every pages, whatever model we are using, we'll have to write, a using over here everywhere. So instead of that, what we can do actually, we can do a shortcut, that is go to view imports.cshtml and add these two. So we don't have to add this using on each and every VM. They will be picked from here, right? So that way we can save, duplication of code. So this is good. Now let me, okay, now this show hide of menu, right? So let me take this into sad layout, or so we'll go over somewhere, we'll keep it in header, or maybe you can keep it in body, right? So this is good. And then if user is not equal to null, okay, if user is not equal to null, okay, so there are certain menu that we want to display every time. Okay, let me add this also, because this is has to be from the helper. Okay, it is not current context, it will be http context. Ideally it should be http context. No. Okay, let me check this. Okay, so it should be ideally, if you want to access session value in the razor view page, right, then we will have to use context accessor only, right? So this is what we will have to do. This is what was missed by ChatGPT, right? Now let's, based on the logged in, let's go to ChatGPT, and let's say now if, okay, so if user is logged in, then only we should display certain menu, right? For example, home should be available to everyone, right? But from this, if user is logged in, then only dashboard will also be shown. Then up to which my reviews login, okay, up to this, right? This should be only displayed if user is logged in. Oh my bad, it has to be over here. Okay, great, it is gone. So let me take these also. uh, Register we will have to display when user is not logged in. So register and login, so let's keep these together, and let's take this inside, because if user is logged in, then only we want to say my profile and log out. Here we will say else, and we'll take this into else part. Right, so this is good. Now based on the role we want to display certain menu, right? So what we will be doing, we will be taking these, right? So search content dashboard will be available to everyone, right? But this bigger menu, this guy will only be available to admin, right? So this is good. Now this guy will only be available to a help desk guy, right? And this is only be available to, oh, I think viewer or something. Let me quickly check what do we have as a third. User role. Okay, let me see what, actually I want to use the exact role name, otherwise it will fail in comparison. Right, so what we will be doing, we'll be going over here. I'll check. Okay, it was help desk, this, and this is viewer, right? So let me take this. Viewers can see their reviews and their profile, right? My profile is actually available to others also. Let's All right, so this has to be viewer, right? So this is good. So this will be available to, every logged in user. Ideally this dashboard should be available to only admin. And so let me do this, actually let me take this inside over here. So this guy should see dashboard, this guy should also see dashboard, right? So this is good. This is good. This should be visible to, my profile should be visible to everyone. Logout should be visible to everyone if user is logged in. If user is not logged in, then log in and register. So this seems to be in place, right? Let's go to ChatGPT. What is the next step over here? Okay, one-time connection. This we did, right? So let's, hopefully finger crossed. Let me run the application and let's see. Okay, so I have an error saying that error view model could not be found. Okay, so in the error.cshtml, it could not found this because it is directly located into models folder, and we added imports, but we removed the, models from there. So ideally it should be first would be models, then models.entity, then models.view models, right? So let me close this. Let me do this, and let me see if we see the error now. We'll go to error.cshtml, right? So I think now it should have been gone. So let me, yeah, okay, it is gone. It says one more error. Where it is? No, it is the same. No. So let me run this again and see. Okay, so it has loaded, right? So we see only login and register at this moment now, right? Because we added those if condition, right? Otherwise it was a very long menu. So let me go to login. Okay, I missed to put down the login. So on login we will have to specify the controller and action name. So let me take it from, we should already have it on home page. No, we don't have even in our home page. No worries. So yeah, okay, we have something over here. Let's take that from footer, and we will add it to login, and we will also add it to logout. Here the controller name would be account. Here it would be account. This would be logout, and this would be login. So let me save this and let load it. Okay, so let me try login this time. Okay, it is loading. Okay, so let's say we have a nice login page. We'll probably improve the design a little bit, but as of now, this looks good. Right, so let me log in as admin first. So it's, let me take the admin's email. Okay, let me say login. Let's see what is happening. Hopefully it should work, or maybe we can wait for the response. Okay, so it loads up and we are into the admin now. We have home, dashboard, search content. Okay, great. Master data. Okay, great. My profile and log out. Let me see. Let me click on log out. Okay, so this is good. Now let's try to log in using help desk guy. So this worked in one go, which is quite good. Okay, so here we see only my task. We don't see long menu for manage my data, my profile log out. So this is also good. We'll rearrange this content, but as of now, this look really nice. This is good. Now let me say log out. Now let me try to log in using a viewer. So it has search my reviews, my profile, log out. Okay, great. This seems to be working very nice. Now let me try a wrong password. Let's say what is happening. We have, okay, it says invalid credential. So this is also working, right? Now let me, you know, press this login button without any passing. So email field and password will require. This is also good. Let me write something wrong email over here. Let me have the password. Email field is required. It says, okay, please include an at the rate. So it is asking that uh, that email also should be a valid email. So everything seems to be in place. So correct login is also working, invalid credential is also working, and validations are also working. So let me go to login again. Right, so let's try to improve. I think design is still, this one is okay. Let's keep this. Right, so that's in this video, guys. Right, so what we did, let me quickly walk you through what we did, because we did a lot thing. Right, so now let me open the chat gpt also. We'll start from the beginning. Right, so stored procedure, we had the stored procedure, so we did not use it. Right, so let me bring that also for your reference, and you can pause the video and check out the code. So here what we did, we are taking email and password as input. We are checking if we have the username and we have somebody with this username and password or not. If yes, then we are bringing that user's data, right, by joining user table and role table, because we need role name from the role table, right? And if not, then we are returning 0 as id, blank as name, email, and role name, and again 0 as role id. Right, so this is what we did in the for the store procedure front. Right, let me close this is not needed. Now let me go to ChatGPT. Right, then it suggested us to create the model class. Now over here, ChatGPT misses to add other columns, because, or we can say, this was actually a response VM. So ideally this should be VM, and original user entity should match your table, exactly your table name and column names, right? So we did that. Let me show you that we created this user entity in the models and entity folder, which exactly matches our database table, right? It has salt and password also, last updated on also, right? Then we created the require VMs, login VM, that is input username and password to the login screen, and login response, that is ID, name, email, role ID and role name, that will be, based on a success login, we will store this into the session and we'll reuse it on rest of the screen, right? So let me go to ChatGPT again. Right. So this is done. Okay. Okay. And then we added I account repository interface, which is over here in infra. Over here, we implemented the same in account repository over here. We will add methods as on required basis. Right. We'll keep on adding stuff over here. Right. But as of now, what do we have? Here we have login method that uses this store procedure, takes these two parameters and returns the result, right? And result is our login response VM, right? And in the controller code, if I go to account controller code, right? So in the login method, what we are doing, we are checking if return user is has ID 0, that means the login has failed, because we are returning 0 for invalid credentials only, or maybe user not there, right? If it is other than 0, then it is successfully logged in. We are storing it into the session using the session helper class. Again, let me take you to the session helper class. You can pause the video and check out the code. Right here we did slightly different than what we had in ChatGPT, because ChatGPT passed the session, we pass the entire context over here, and this is something I have been using in previous project and working very nice. So that's why I used it. Right. So let me go to the again. So this is done. This is done. This is done. Then we added these few things into program.cs. Let me take you to that. So where do we have program.cs? Okay, we hit it open. So we every repository interface and repository we'll have to register it over here. Then for session we added these two, and the third one is this one, use session, right? For now let's move to the next. Now account controller, that I already showed, right? So let me go to it again in case. Right. So we see this login and this logout. Logout, we are doing nothing. We are just clearing out the session and redirect back to login. Right. We don't have anything to update on logout in the database, like last login date time or something. Right. Then UI. Right. So we created this UI. We copy pasted the UI as it is. Nothing changed. Right. We just added. Okay. Yeah. So ChatGPT missed one thing. In case of invalid credential, it has given us the, it is storing the message into this view bag, but that view bag was never used somewhere over here. Ideally it should be used to display the message, right? It was not there, so I did that. I just added this one text over here, right? One paragraph where I am adding this view bag and mark this as a text danger, so that it appear red on the screen, right? And then based on the logged in user, we are displaying the menus. So if I go to sad layout, so first of all, home should be available to everybody. Home, login, and register should be available to the available even if user is not logged in, right? Then if user is logged in, then based on the user is admin, help desk or viewer, we are displaying only certain menus only, right? So up to this much we covered in this video. This was just a quick highlight. This may be a lengthy video, but to set up a project infrastructure, I prefer to set up the project infrastructure, authentication, authorization in first place only, so later on we can just concentrate on individual screens, right? So I hope this is now we are in good place. The project infrastructure is ready. We just need to add pages as and when required, right? So in the next video we will go over the CRUD operation of role, right? So we'll go over CRUD operation of roles. So admin can actually only do that, so we'll do that, right? So thanks for watching this video and see you in the next video.